One morning, Gordon was resting in a siding. Sometimes, he thought, it's really tiring to be such a large and splendid engine. One does have to keep up appearances, so... "Wake up, Gordon," said his driver. "A special train's coming and you're to pull it." "Is it coaches or trucks?" asked Gordon. "Trucks," said his driver. "Trucks!" grumbled Gordon. "I won't go! I won't go!" Gordon began to sulk and his fire wouldn't burn properly. When Edward pushed him to the turntable, he didn't help at all. "Trucks," hissed Gordon. "I'll show them! I'll show them!" And when the turntable was halfway round, he moved slowly forward. He only meant to go far enough to jam the turntable, but he couldn't stop himself and slithered into a ditch. "Ooh!" she hissed. "Get me out! Get me out!" Some boys saw him and shouted, "Doesn't he look silly? They'll never get him out." They began to sing. "Silly old Gordon fell in a ditch, fell in a ditch, fell in a ditch. Silly old Gordon fell in a ditch, all on a Monday morning." They telephoned Sir Topham Hatt. "Tell Edward to take the special," he ordered. "Gordon? Oh, leave him where he is. We've no time to bother with him." It was dark when they came for Gordon. They lifted him out and put sleepers under his wheels to keep him from the mud. Strong wire ropes were fastened to his back end, and James and Henry, pulling hard, managed to bring him to safety. A few days later, Thomas was at the junction when Gordon arrived with some trucks. "Pooh!" remarked Thomas to Annie and Clarabelle. "Can you smell a smell? A funny, musty sort of smell." "We can't smell a smell," said Annie and Clarabelle. "Do you know what I think it is?" said Thomas, staring at Gordon. "It's ditch water." Before Gordon could answer, Thomas puffed away. Annie and Clarabelle were shocked. "He's dreadfully rude. We feel quite ashamed," they called to each other as Thomas hurried them along. But Thomas didn't care. "That was funny," he said to himself. Later, Thomas took some empty trucks to a mine. Long ago, miners digging for lead had made tunnels under the ground. Their roofs are strong enough to hold up trucks, but not the weight of engines. A large notice warns them not to enter the area. "Danger! Engines must not pass this board." Thomas had often tried, but never succeeded. But today he had a plan. His driver got down to turn the points. Thomas's driver leaned out of the cab to see where he was going. "Now," Thomas said to himself. Bumping the trucks fiercely, he jerked his driver off the footplate. "Silly old board," he said. "There's no danger." But there was. "Look out!" shouted his driver. But it was too late. "Fire and smoke!" shouted Thomas. "I'm sunk!" And he was. "Oh dear," he said. "I am a silly engine." "And a very naughty one too," said a voice. "I saw you." "Please get me out," said Thomas. "I won't be naughty again." "I'm not sure," said Sir Topham Hatt. "We can't lift you out with a crane. The ground's not firm enough." I wonder if Gordon can pull you out." "Gordon?" said Thomas nervously. He didn't want to meet Gordon just yet. "Down a mine, is he?" laughed Gordon. "What a joke!" "Poop poop, little Thomas. We'll have you out in a couple of puffs." Strong cables were fastened between the two engines. "Are you ready?" called Sir Topham Hatt. 1, 2, 3, heave! It was a lot harder than they all thought, but at last, Thomas was free. "Thank you for rescuing me," said Thomas to Gordon. "I'm sorry I was cheeky." "That's all right, Thomas," said Gordon. "You made me laugh. I like that. I'm in disgrace, and it cheered me up." "I'm in disgrace too," said Thomas. "Why, so you are, Thomas. We're both in disgrace. Shall we form an alliance?" "An ally what?" asked Thomas. "An alliance, Thomas," said Gordon grandly. "United we stand, together we fall. You help me, and I'll help you." "All right," said Thomas, and buffer to buffer, the allies puffed home.